Thanks to the folks who led the way. Thanks to the folks, let us thank them every day.
Welcome to the Fresh Toones Show. My name is Dave Paltz, and today's show is my 28th episode of Inspirational Lives, and it's the first time that I've done it for a group of people in my life. I'm going to focus on 3 teachers that I remember. I actually looked up their name in my old yearbook. One was from grammar school, the other 2 were from high school. I'm going to start off today's show with a song called You Can Do It that I'd like to play in thanks to my elementary 6th grade teacher, Miss McMullen. She really changed my life. I was a kid from a factory worker, and I was anticipated to become a factory worker and live my life that way. But Miss McMullen opened my mind to a lot of different things and encouraged me to explore and do my artwork, and it was an important moment in my life. Things started to look a lot brighter and a lot more open. I wasn't going to be mandated to have to be a factory worker and stand in line and produce things. I produced other things in my life. This song is a thank you to Miss McMullen, my 6th grade teacher.
You can do it, you can make it through it, even though you might wonder why. There is something inside you, and it's walking beside you, and it is larger than yourself, and it's whispering your name, and it's wiping your eyes, and it's touching your soul, set you free. You are unique to this world. You need to let your flag be unfurled, to be who you are, and that is all. The sun has sprouted your seed, the warmth has lifted your head. Now you know what you know, and that is all. And it's whispering your name, and it's wiping your eyes, and it's touching your soul to set you free. You can do it, you can make it through it, even though you might wonder why. There is something inside you, and it's walking beside you, and it is larger than yourself, and it's whispering your name, and it's wiping your eyes, and it's touching your soul to set you free.
Well, Miss McMullen really inspired a lot of energy in me to want to learn more and have fun doing it, and realize that I wasn't going to be limited in my life to what I wanted to do and what I wanted to accomplish and what I wanted to be a part of. So maybe about 50 years later, some of that excitement inspired this song of mine called The Learning Tree that I wrote for some underserved students in Rochester, New York, in an after-school program for a children's film festival. We were working on an animation for it, so we needed something to put our animation to, and I wrote this song for them called The Learning Tree. Through a weird connection of someone in California, they had seen my music videos and really liked them. Her name was Misty Brown, and she offered to do a version of one of my songs, and just happened that this worked out, that Misty was able to do a recording of the song, and we joined it in with the kids' voices, and this is what it sounds like. It's called The Learning Tree.
Let's all learn, let's have fun, let's all sing this learning song. It's fun to learn, to see how things really work. As we work and as we play, we're always learning new ways. The more that we learn, the more we will see that learning is good for you and me. Yes, it's fun to climb the learning tree. Well, we all start from being small. With each step we keep growing taller. As we grow, we'll see much more. 'Cause learning always opens new doors. 'Cause the more that we learn, the more we will see that learning is good for you and me. Yes, it's fun to climb the learning tree. Let's all learn all we can, and let's all lend a helping hand. So those who want to go to school can have the fun of learning too. 'Cause the more that we learn, the more we will see that learning is good for you and me. It's fun to climb the learning tree. Yes, it's fun to climb the learning tree.
Well, Miss McMullen, my 6th grade teacher, certainly influenced my life for the last almost 30 years, I guess. I've been teaching kids and some adults animation and how to tell their story. And the next song I'm going to play is a song that I recorded. It's not a fresh tune, but I can really relate to it. And the kids really got into it. It's called Ain't Gonna Let Nobody Turn Me Around. And you'll hear some sound effects and you'll hear some narration of a story that we told as the song went on. And it turned out pretty successful. It was shown in the Women's Film Festival, dedicated to women that really struggle to do some positive things. The song is called Ain't Gonna Let Nobody Turn Me Around.
In the 19th century, very few women dared to speak in meeting. Even at a women's rights convention, the men in the audience dominated the conversation. That is, until Sojourner Truth rose and spoke from the podium.
Turn me around, gonna let nobody. Turn me around, I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, gonna build a brand new world.
At a time when most disabled Americans were locked away in asylums, Helen Keller became the first deaf-blind person to graduate from college. As a young girl, she had struggled to learn to even speak. Her breakthrough came when teacher Ann Sullivan helped her understand the word water.
Turn me around, ain't gonna let no rain, no. Turn me around, I'm gonna keep on a-walking, keep on a-talking, gonna build a brand new world.
Joan Baez stood with Cesar Chavez and migrant farm workers as they fought for fair wages and safe working conditions. One of her first actions was to accompany Martin Luther King Jr. on a perilous march for voters' rights.
Turn me around, I'm gonna keep on a-walking, keep on a-talking, keep on a-singing, keep on a-swinging, gonna build a brand new world.
This is the Fresh Toones Show, and today's theme for the Inspirational Lives episode is teachers. So I've been doing some thank yous and appreciations for teachers that have given me some inspiration in my life. Up to now, I've been speaking mostly about Miss McMullen because she probably had the biggest impact on me in 6th grade. And to keep that elementary mentality in mind, I'm going to play a song that I wrote for another kids project. It's called The Teacher in the Kids Fun Song. It's the teacher in the kids' fun song. It's the teacher in the kids' fun song. When our teachers say good morning, we say good morning too. When we're asked to please be quiet, we all say shh. 'Cause if we can work together, we'll have more fun. We can sing together, we can get so much more done. What's the name of this song? It's the teacher in the kids' fun song. It's the teacher in the kids' fun song. When we're told good job done, we smile and tell everyone. When we're asked, please work harder, we don't tell anyone. But if we can work together, we'll have more fun. We can sing together, we can get so much more done. It's the teacher in the kids' fun song. It's the teacher in the kids' fun song. When our teacher asks a question, we all raise our hands. When we're called on for the answer, we say just what we know. But if we can work together, we'll have more fun. We can sing together, we can get so much more done. What's the name of this song? It's the teacher in the kids' fun song. 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 Well, I'm going to move on now to high school, and There was a teacher, Mrs. Banerjee, that had a significant impact on my life. I was kind of a goof-off by 10th grade in high school. I wasn't working as hard as I could or should have been. And Mrs. Banerjee taught chemistry, which I had no interest in really, other than it was a requirement. I needed so many science credits. At some point, she got pretty frustrated with us kids that were making very little effort to take advantage of the education being offered to them. I was one of them. She shared with us that she had served a year or two in the Peace Corps over in India and told us about the kids there and how much they would walk great distances to go to school and how much their efforts really influenced her as far as wanting to become a teacher and teach kids here in the United States chemistry, which was another love of hers. And a lot of us weren't taking advantage of this opportunity. So she laid into us, and it did make me stop and think about the rest of the world. I did cram the last 3 weeks before the chemistry exam, and even though I was a D student before, I did just barely pass the course and got my credits. More importantly, she made me think of the situation that other people lived in. Years later, I wrote this song for Malala, a young girl who struggled to get an education where girls weren't often invited to and often threatened. So in some ways, Mrs. Banerjee did have an impact on me. This song is called Oh Malala.
Oh Malala, the girl who spoke when most said nothing. Oh Malala, the girl who shined a light on darkness. Braver than a fighter, brighter than a movie star, sweeter than a mountain raindrop. She spoke up so we can all learn, so one day we can become the love we earn. Oh Malala, the girl with the face that could change the forever. Oh Malala, they tried to kill you, but your love will never. Your love will never die. Reflected in your neighbor's eyes. Living truth when others lie. Spoke up so we can all learn, so one day we can become the love we yearn. Oh Malala, the girl who learned and then she taught. Oh Malala, with gentle words is all she fought. Fought for the rights that some deemed all wrong. She wrote of truth when schools were bombed. She lived in fear but spoke her mind. Spoke up so we all can learn, so one day we can become the love we yearn. Oh Malala, kind smile, gentle soul. Oh Malala, a gleam of silver, heart of gold. Oh Malala, kind smile, gentle soul.
Well, the last teacher that I want to make a point of thanking, and he certainly would be surprised if he was still alive, which I'm sure he isn't, but his name was Mr. Carl Lang, a real tough taskmaster. He taught social studies, and he'd say, hey, pay attention there. Wake up, think about things. He taught us about a lot of the great philosophers in time, and it was certainly good for us to be starting to think this way, that we're going to have to make some decisions in our life. There was a war in Vietnam, and it was pretty messy, and as an 18-year-old in 1970, I had a lot to think about and figure out. So he did a good job. He exposed me to a lot of philosophies and a lot of different ways of thinking. He was pretty serious about it, but that's probably what I needed at that age of 17 or 18. He certainly made me aware that a lot of people had to struggle and think through things in their lives and make decisions. Just what I needed at that time to prepare me that once you leave this high school, you're going to be out in the world and you're going to have to make some ethical decisions on things. So thank you, Mr. Lang. And in that same vein of how difficult things may be in our lives, I later wrote this song called The Road to the Top Isn't Paved.
I conquer Mount Stupidity in the name of Durf the Viking. It's all mine.
Someone hand you the answer. Look at it as closely as you can. They say don't ask those questions. Kick up your heels and move along. Keep your eyes wide open along the way. Don't let the newest highs lead you astray. The pretty colors might take you away, but the road to the top isn't paved. No, the road to the top isn't paved. There are many signs around us. If we focus, we will see. But there are so many distractions. The fog is thick, the air is thin. Keep your eyes wide open along the way. Remember what you're doing every day. Following the pathway that you've made. 'Cause the road to the top isn't paved. road to the top isn't paved.
I'd like to finish up today's inspirational live show dedicated to teachers with this song called Thank You. Now, it's not just about teachers that I'm thanking there. There's other family members that I thank in the song. But I'd really like to say thank you to those teachers and to all the teachers that have had a really tough time here in the last year. So thank you to them. And this song is called Thank You.
Thank you for the love you gave to me. Thank you for your patience when I refused to see. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging on. Thank you for holding me when no one else was around. I'm thanking you with every song I write. I'm thanking you in my prayers tonight. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging on. Thank you for holding me when no one else was around. Thank you for the love you gave to me. Your love still lives as it lives through me. Thank you, 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 thank you.
And that's it for the Fresh Tune Show today. If you get a chance, say thank you to a teacher and have a great week. So long now. Bye.